Hey you guys, welcome to our very intimate love nest with the blondes. We have the amazing, you guys know who she is, I shouldn't even introduce her. Meghan is here. We're gonna have an amazing show. We're gonna talk about body image and accepting yourself, and we're gonna have a sweet treat at the end. Meghan's actually gonna play one of her beautiful songs for us. So tell everybody who you are before I just keep talking about you.
You could just keep talking about me if you want.
And she's amazing, she has a great credit score, she's hot.
Yes, I have a pretty good credit score, I'm not gonna lie. I'm Meghan Tonjes on YouTube. I play music, do vlogs, do all kinds of body positivity videos, and just try to be your best friend.
Make your best friend. I love it. Yeah. I love it so much. Okay, kicking off the show, Twitter question. Cloud asks, dating when you are 18 and the pressure to have sex, drink, and do them drugs. Don't do them drugs. Don't do that, girl.
Is that all one relationship that we're talking about?
I'm like, yeah, that sounds pretty, and those are a lot of areas to cover. Yeah. But okay, so let's, first and foremost, I want to focus on the pressures of having sex when you're a teenager. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh man, I don't feel like I dealt with that many pressures as a teenager to have sex. I think I was like in my own little world. I was all about like school and hanging out with friends. Yeah, the right things. And like I've been very public about it on my channel, but I didn't start having sex till I was 26. So I held out for a long time, but it wasn't for any reason. It was just like for me, I feel like when I'm surrounded by people, like even drinking or anything like that, when I was younger, people weren't surrounded by that or weren't exposed to it. So they went to college and they freaked out and I'm gonna do everything all of the time. And I kind of grew up with parents that were very open and like, if you're gonna do something, be safe about it, and you know, let us know if we need to pick you up.
That's so funny because you think the kids would take advantage, like, oh, my parents are cool with this, I'm gonna do that.
No.
But most, like everybody I know who was like sheltered and was like, don't do that, it's bad. That's when they go
crazy. Yeah. So I kind of grew up in a household that was like, just be safe, be careful, and was very open about that kind of stuff. And so when I went to college and things like that, I wasn't so starstruck and freaking out. I had to try all these things. And for me, it's always been. I like to do things at my own pace in a lot of ways. Like if I make a decision, then I kind of go for it.
Right.
And for me, like sex or anything like that has always been when I'm comfortable and when I meet the person that I feel just safe around or comfortable or it's the right moment for me, then I'll do it. And not for any other reason, kind of with peer pressure.
I love that. That's so important, I think, for advice for you guys out there, that you just kind of, sounds like you've always just followed the beat of your own drum.
Yeah, I mean, I think I also surrounded myself with people that didn't make me feel bad for not having done something or
like, you can't be my friend,
something.
You can't sit at our lunch table unless you have sex.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, no,
I hope that doesn't exist. That's not a thing, right?
I hope not. I hope that's not like
now that I have a child, I'm like,
oh man.
Homeschool, is that an option? So yeah, that makes me nervous. Okay, and then let's talk about drugs and drinking. It's kind of surprising to me. I guess that like you said, I wasn't associated with, none of my friends drank or did drugs, but there were, you know, kids in the high school who did. And we never went to parties where there was alcohol there, but I always remember feeling bad for the kids who were doing those things. For some reason in my mind, I was like, well, and this was very sheltered thinking, but I was, if you can't have fun just being sober and just being present, and like we're in high school, we're all crazy and should be eating like cheeseburgers and Slurpees, like whatever, and we can't have a good time doing that, then why do you have to drink to have fun? That was kind of my mentality.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good mentality to have. I think I was such a nerd. I was so into, I was like, I could go to a party and drink, or I could go home and write fan fiction and watch Buffy. Like that was kind of my mindset, you know. And I was a part of the internet too before. I mean, there was no YouTube or anything, but like I was into LiveJournal and all these different sites. And I think my focus was always kind of on being creative and doing other things. And then when I got to college and I got older, like of course you experiment, you you drink, you try drugs, you go to parties, you do whatever. But I think the best way to do it is to never go into it because you feel peer pressure. If you're gonna try something because I think that you'll just kind of build it up in your head if you don't.
Yeah.
But make sure that you're surrounding yourself with people that will keep you safe and will watch out for you, and that you're not overdoing it and not becoming dependent on anything.
Right.
And I mean, even now that I'm older, like I've had experiences drinking or things where I'm like, never happening again. You just have to. You kind of have to learn. Again. You have to learn your limits, and I think that's part of growing up. And it's not something to be scared of. It's just about doing it in a safe way and in a safe environment.
So kind of changing directions an extreme amount. Let's talk about body confidence, because it's something you do on your channel, and I know you're very passionate about it. How do you feel, let me ask you this, when do you feel the most confident?
When do I feel the most confident? I think I feel the most confident when I'm on stage. I think that's when I'm kind of in
you're doing something you're passionate
about.
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm not aware of kind of feeling insecure about things or worried about what people are thinking because I'm so into what I'm doing and just thinking about that moment. And I'm aware of my body and everything, but it's not for the purposes of kind of pleasing other people. It's more for just the purpose of playing a song. So I think
pretty amazing at what you do, and people love it. So
well, I try.
I try to do. I dabble.
And then I mean, I feel really good naked. I'm not gonna lie. Like I feel really good.
For
I
you.
do. I have days where I walk around the house, my poor roommate, and I'm just like in my underwear, and I'm like, yeah, I would touch this. Yeah, if I were a guy, I would date this.
Get it.
Yeah. So I think you have to have those days. I mean, everyone has times when they don't feel good. Like there are things that I'll see in my body. I'm like, oh, I wish that were different. But I think overall, I feel really happy with myself because I've seen, like I used to be 321 pounds, and I've seen this huge change in my body and in just everything I do. And I think kind of having to reconnect with myself and I've always loved myself. Even at 321, I was still confident and happy, but kind of getting used to this new body and just feeling good about it. And you know, and you know, if other people like it or they don't, it's fine because at the end of the day, I feel pretty good. And if I'm gonna wear short shorts, I'm gonna wear short shorts, and it's gonna look good.
And you're like, and this is awesome.
And this is fine.
So that journey from losing that weight. To where you're at right now, was that hard? Was it rocky up and down? Was there ever a point where you're like, why am I doing this? What's the purpose of it?
I don't think it ever ends. I mean, I'm still, you know, it'll go up and down. It kind of depends on like where I am in my life and what's happening. It was a hard process. I think the reason I did it was because I started getting health problems that were kind of aggravated by the weight with my back. And it was kind of coming in between me and music and traveling. And just seeing the way it affected not only me but my family, and them having to deal.
Eye-opener.
Yeah, so it kind of was a moment where I think you get to a point where it's like, and I think Shay said this, where it's, you know, it's more painful to stay the same than to change.
Yes.
And I definitely had that moment where I was like, I just have to do this, and that's when I started jogging, and that's when I started eating differently.
So it was all solely for you.
And it was just like a solid 3 months of just, this is what I do now, and I lost like 50 pounds right away. And then ever since then, it's just kind of been figuring out how to balance feeling normal and doing the things that I want to do with also continuing being healthier than I was.
Yeah. So, okay, so speaking of healthy and confidence, what would be your words of advice? Because you seem like you're just awesome. Like, because there's people who struggle. Like, I mean, it sounds stupid, but
it's always a struggle.
Right. I mean, and everybody has things about their bodies that they don't like. I can make a list. But I think that everyone assumes the grass is greener on the other side. So what would be your advice of really just like owning your insecurities? I guess we can say that. There are things about, I think, every person's body. I bet we could put Cindy Crawford on here or Victoria's Secret model, whatever, and they would say, yeah, I don't like this, I don't like that. Yeah. So how have you learned to really just accept those things about your body that you don't love and own them?
I think that, oh man, it's hard because you're not only being on the internet, we're surrounded by people constantly telling us, you're not pretty enough, you look too much like this, you're not enough.
We have haters?
Yeah,
on YouTube?
what is that? And so it's not just the voice in your head, it's all these other voices that are kind of adding to it.
Right.
And I think the thing that I've realized just being around so many people even out here in Los Angeles and that are in the entertainment industry is you see these girls that are so gorgeous in their bodies, you're just like that, you're ridiculous looking. Yeah. They hate their butt or they hate their legs or they're insecure about their arms, and it blows your mind. When you would gladly be like,
I'll take your butt. You don't want it, I'll have your butt.
It blows your mind that people feel that way, and I think you just realize that everyone's kind of going through their own pain and everyone's going through their own thing, and no one's really 100% secure with themselves. So I think once you see that no one has it together, you're like, okay, it's fine for me to not have it together, not be 100% all the time. And I also think that as I've gotten older, I just realized like there's so many things about my body that I love, so many things that I can do that I appreciate that go beyond like my butt. You know, I have cellulite, or I have this, whatever. It's like, but I can run and I can dance and I can play music on stage every night and I can do all these things that I think you can't take your body for granted and all the. And also, I think growing up in the Midwest, I think women are also not as concerned about looking a certain way.
So like the underlining basis, I think, is health and just focusing on. I do choreography camps in the summer, and I had a cheerleader's. Her mom brought her to camp, and she was in the van, and she was yelling at me from the window. I'm like, why doesn't she just get out and come talk to me? So I like run up there. She's like, come here, come here. She was in a wheelchair, and she said, I'm just really grateful that you do this. And I thought about that the rest of the day, that like those moments of feeling like I wish my arms were stronger, I was this or that or whatever, I was just grateful that I could move my body. And she said that. She said, be grateful that you can do things others wish that they can't. And I think that when you want to think about it, the focus should be what matters in the end, and that's just being healthy.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think also, like, from my own personal journey has been, there are moments where I'm like, oh, I don't know how comfortable I feel with this, or like when I'm wearing, or if I want to show this off. And I just think about, like, all the 13-year-olds that watch me in videos, or all the people that come to my shows that feel bad about something, that it almost pushes me through to make a braver choice, or to be more vocal, or to do things that are outside of my comfort zone, because I know that it's so much bigger than just me.
Right.
That if a girl that looks like me can see me wearing shorts, or feeling comfortable enough to wear a tank top, that's a huge thing that we don't think about. And that, you know, these other men and women, they see someone that looks like them doing something, and they're like, maybe I can do that too.
I can do that too. So. That's awesome, setting that example.
Yeah.
You're amazing.
I try.
I try.
I try.
Well, you guys, we have talked about a lot of things, but do not go anywhere. First off, send all your love to Meghan. Leave comments below for her. She had so many great points. What were some of your favorite things that we've talked about today? And what are some things that you struggle with that you think that you could do to overcome? We want to know. But don't go anywhere. I'm going to step off. Meghan is actually going to serenade us with one of her songs. Do you want to talk about the song real quick that you are singing today?
I'm singing a song called Anchor today. Oh. And I don't really write happy songs, so I really don't do happy songs. I do kind of angsty, sad things. But I think my experience with people, and mostly men, has been I have a bad boy thing, which is a problem.
Hey, girl.
I have a bad boy thing.
I know. I'll read through your tweets. I'm like, she gets it. She just gets me right now.
I have it's not even like daddy issues. It's just like I meet people that I'm intrigued by. I'm like, you're a challenge. I don't quite get you.
But you're still really douchey.
We all want to be that one girl.
Wow, yeah.
We all want to be that one girl that like changes, like just that all of a sudden they're different than they ever were.
Right.
But it's kind of about I think attaching yourself to something that might. I think we have a tendency as people to want to grab onto others and kind of either keep them afloat, or like have them keep us afloat. And a lot of times we attach ourselves to people that are sinking, and like we're gonna go down with them basically. And so the song is kind of about that, of realizing that I've attached myself to people that we're not going the same way. My anchor's on your boat and you're going a completely different direction, and kind of how do you let go of that, and how are you okay with yourself?
Cool. That's amazing. Okay, well, stay tuned. We're gonna hear right from Meghan.
There's a heartbeat beating down. Everyone gather around, watching it burn in flames. I knew a man like you, who did the things you do, who said the things you say. And when the morning comes, gotta go, gotta run, no matter anyway. Maybe there's something more than being something more to someone who won't stay. And I don't mind what the world might say. Yeah, we might be fine, but we're not the same. Don't set your anchor on another ship heading another way. Now I'll be fine, better if you stay. Here's a change of hand, I need a brand new plan. I won't stand the way. And when it comes to you, I know I'll only lose. I gotta walk away. I let my armor down, you shot a couple rounds. I didn't have a say. I've seen so much more in you, there's so much more, just being honest, babe. And I don't mind what the world might say. Yeah, we might be fine, but we're not the same. Don't set your anchor on another ship heading another way. Now I'll be Don't set your anchor on another ship, heading another way. Now I'll be fine, better if you stay. I don't want you to be done. You can keep going.